Before I proceed with today's video, I have to preface that I desperately despise woodcutting and I will never recommend this to anyone unless you either don't care about making good profits or you simply find doing mindless chores relaxing somehow. That is not me. Now with that said, you clicked into this video because you either want to raise your woodcutting level the fastest possible way or you are gay. I mean you like to watch my videos. So I'll go through each and every log available in the game right now and give you everything you need to know about what woodcutting level is required for this log, where is the best place to harvest these logs, how long will the trees take to regenerate, whether these logs are worth farming for EXP, what are they used for, and how much they can currently be sold in the free market. Also note that having a higher wood cutting level makes it easier to cut down logs, and as with everything EXP related, you will acquire 50% more EXP during active world boosts. So let's just get right into it. Starting with the basic pine logs, the very best place to farm these has to be the double pine trees next to the hornet bank. They have a 10-second respawn timer, which means you could comfortably farm logs here for perpetuity. Shit, that was a hard word. This is the fastest and most convenient place and there is no close competition at all. Not only are these starter trees for leveling, they are also important for crafting relics of accuracy, which is used a lot in warrior builds. These pine logs can also be sold for 3,000 to 4,000 gold a piece, which is a pretty damn good deal if you can find a buyer. Side note, I also recommend logging a bunch over here as I personally find it easiest in obtaining the woodpecker. This is just based on my experience from about 5 accounts that I've made thus far. Next, we have the dead logs. These can be harvested with a woodcutting level of 5. While you're able to harvest 2 trees from this spot, the surrounding is also plentiful. These trees have a respawn timer of 10 seconds, so you have no issues getting full backpacks of these logs easily. While these trees are a good way to boost your woodcutting level quickly, they also serve a great purpose as the logs are used to craft relics of guarding, which are primarily meant for endgame mummy bossing. Video linked above if you are interested to learn more. Expect to make a return about 3,000 gold a piece for each dead log. Then we have birch. With a woodcutting level of 10, we can farm these at this specific spot. There is absolutely no movement required between logging and banking, so coupled with the fact that these trees respawn every 10 seconds makes this place absolutely terrific for AFK harvesting. I highly advise farming these trees only for raising a woodcutting to level 20 as they are primarily used to craft useless rays of healing, so these logs are generally worthless. Applewood comes next. These can be logged with a woodcutting level of 20 and this spot gives you a great mix between tree count and banking distance. They respawn every 15 seconds and serves very little purpose like the birch logs. They are primarily used to craft relics of wealth, which ironically is one of the worst possible ways to earn gold. For a proper way to earn gold, watch this video instead. But definitely finish watching this video as it gives me better traction, you know, YouTube algorithm stuff. Anyway, let's move on. Willow logs are unlocked upon reaching level 30 in woodcutting. This spot is fantastic to AFK harvest in as you can kick 2 trees at once. These trees have a respawn timer of 20 seconds, but there is little worry seeing as the surrounding is full of willow trees, making this place an excellent way to level up your woodcutting. These willow logs are extremely OP as they are primarily used in crafting power relics, which gives its user a massive 15% additional critical hit chance. These logs are therefore valuable and can easily fetch 5,000 gold a piece. Not bad while being so easy to harvest at the same time. At woodcutting level 40, we can now chop down oak logs. This area is a golden standard for oak logging as we have 3 oak logs sitting literally next to a freaking bank. They respawn every 30 seconds, however, so expect to have some downtime, especially when there are other players farming these trees with you. These logs have incredible value and are used mainly for crafting nature relics. These nature relics will then feed your own harvesting needs such as woodcutting and mining, improving your odds and making your overall farming process much easier. These logs currently go for 5,000, 6,000 a piece and are easy to sell. Then at woodcutting level 50, we can now unlock the chestnut logs. This spot is arguably the best spot to farm these logs, but not because it gives you the best cluster of trees, but rather because they are close to other essential trees at the same time. So take note that these trees respawn rather slowly at 40 seconds, so I highly advise you to split your focus into not just the chestnuts, but also the oaks along the way. Doing this specific farming split is really great for leveling your woodcutting and collecting useful logs at the same time. These logs are primarily used in crafting fire relics and go for up to 10,000 a piece. This is undoubtedly the most profitable log amongst all other logs in the game right now. But when you eventually reach level 60 in woodcutting, you can then chop down maple trees. This spot is fantastic as you have immediate access to 2 trees in a single spot and are situated really closely to the hornet bank. However, these trees have a really long respawn timer of 75 seconds, but they are also pretty challenging to chop down, so unless you're willing to farm more actively, I do recommend just camping this spot instead. This place is great for raising a woodcutting level and the logs are used to craft damage relics, and damage relics improve all your damage very slightly and are decent when you want an extra edge in competing against other players at a bossing spot. These logs go for 10,000 a piece but are much harder to cut down than chestnuts, which is why chestnuts are still generally a better place for turning a profit. But this is not saying much though, seriously. Go check out the gold farming video I proposed in the Applewood section. You are really missing out. At woodcutting level 70, we have successfully unlocked olive logs. Where can we find them, you say? We will first need to unlock the teleporter location to the mushroom island. From there, turn left, walk a little bit, and you will find some olive trees. These trees have a remarkable respawn timer of 100 seconds, so this area could be very heavily depleted during world boosts. With that said, I'm sorry I got a little bit distracted here. me just get these event eggs real quick. With that said, I definitely most absolutely do not recommend farming olive logs at all for woodcutting EXP. This is why. Olive logs gives the player 1800 EXP per log, which is 50% more than maple logs, but are actually much harder to cut down and requires you to walk a lot back to the forest bank, all the while competing against many players at the same time. However, these olive logs serve a really important purpose as they are used in crafting relics of leeching and relics of experience. Relics of experience are basically a necessity at this point to level up your melee level, but they can also be bought from other players for just 12,000 gold per piece, which means you'll save a ton of cost from not consuming olive and maple logs while doing so. More on this in the warrior guide. However, these logs are also marketed at the same 12,000 gold a piece, so like I said, just buy relics of experience and don't bother crafting them. Moving on to higher woodcutting territory, we have magic logs at level 80. Did I say that the oak trees were the gold standard of logging spots? Well then, magic trees are actually the diamond standard instead. There are plenty of triple spots in this entire area, with this cluster being the best of them all. We are just a few steps away from the haunted bank and have a first class experience at incinerating the souls of green activists. However, these trees have a very long respawn timer of 3 minutes, so expect to move around a little bit each time. Regardless, this is still one of the best spots to leveling your woodcutting and getting some extra magic essences at the same time. These logs are primarily used in crafting ice relics, but if you feel like it, you could also try to sell them to other players at a rate of 2,300 gold each. The reason they are so cheap is because they drop in excess from netherracks. At woodcutting level 85, we can now chop down palm trees. This is the best spot for these trees, and they apparently have a 200-second respawn timer. I did not bother double checking this shit. Given the thinly spread of trees, I highly recommend sticking to magic trees and skipping palm altogether. These logs aren't very useful either, as they are mostly used in leveling or crafting only. They are also extremely worthless at 3,000 to 4,000 for that same reason. Hard skip in my opinion. From a good deal of magic tree grinding, we can now lumber some pear at woodcutting level 90. This is my favorite spot as it has the best mix of convenience and abundance. The trees here have a very short respawn timer of just 60 seconds, I checked, and are absolutely needed for leveling up woodcutting beyond this point. These pearwood are also used in crafting a relic of efficiency, which makes all your artisanal skills like crafting, tailoring, and barsmithing much faster. These logs currently go for 9,000 a piece, and that is about it for the pearwood. Now finally, at woodcutting level 95, we can unlock the current champion of trees, the lime tree. While there are certainly many places worthy for farming these trees, I find that this spot next to the lake suits me the best. There is a double tree spot over here and 2 other nearby trees worth visiting. These respawn every 60 seconds as well, I also checked, and are the best for gaining woodcutting levels. But why do we need more woodcutting levels since we can already cut down all types of trees, you may ask? Well, aside from making general logging an easier task, we can also unlock the milestone cape and pets at level 100 and 120. More info on this in the video above. Limewood currently only has one use, however, which is to craft relics of affliction, an indispensable tool for leveling up your melee level. However, these logs actually do not sell for much at about 3,000 to 4,000 a piece due to the excessive farming of these trees by players chasing woodcutting level 120, so take note of that. But that seems to be it for this video. These are currently all the trees we have in Curse of Aros right now, and the developers might just introduce more in the future. If so, I would have to redo this video all over again. But before that, I hope this video helped you. If it did, don't forget to give a thumbs up, it really helps the channel, and subscribe for more Curse of Aros content. Now with that said, this has been Derry Free to Play, and as always, I will see you in the next video.